Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to change the way the world eats. Guys, happy Friday! For those of you for whom this is the last day of working week, you're probably really excited about the day of the week. But guys, I want you all to realize, it was a realization for myself once, that days of the week and how we feel about them, it's so artificially created. And you can create this feeling of excitement about any day of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like in Dubai, for example, in that region, their first day of the week is Sunday. Their Sunday is like Monday. And so they have completely different feelings about Sunday than you might have, right? And it just shows how artificial it is and how you can redefine how you feel about any day. Like, I love Mondays. For me, it's like the best day of the week. Plus, it's usually the easiest day of the week. And it again just shows you how artificial those feelings are. And you can change them. The same about, eating certain foods or certain amounts of holidays. Like for a lot of people, it used to be for me, it's a huge trigger. Like Thanksgiving comes or Christmas comes, and it's like we have this urge to eat so much. But also understand that it's very artificial. You move to another part of the world, like Mexico or Russia, and Thanksgiving all of a sudden has nothing to do with food. It's just another regular Thursday, right? Those things are so artificial. And that's why, guys, don't feel like you have to do anything on any specific day. Ask yourself, what do I want to do? Does it really mean anything to me? Like eat a lot of food on Thanksgiving when for example, I'm not from that culture, or I don't really feel like eating a lot of food. I am feeling like expressing a lot of gratitude to people that I feel on any day of the week. It doesn't matter whether that's Thanksgiving or not. But yeah, just think about that. Those obligations, quote unquote, to behave in a certain way, to feel in a certain way, to eat in a certain way, they're so artificial. And just ask yourself, is it really that important? Is it really what's this all about? Christmas and Thanksgiving? Is it really about food? Yeah, we have food traditions, they're fun. But again, you can redesign them, rewire them, redefine them for yourself. Like a lot of my clients do. They ask themselves, is Thanksgiving really about having this huge meal? Or is it just about getting together and expressing gratitude and sharing beautiful moments together, right? So think about it today. But besides that, guys, today is Friday, and a lot of you might be doing grocery shopping on the weekends. And so I wanted to give you a list of my favorite brainy foods that are proven to be great for our brain and support brain health, decrease the risk of premature brain aging or neurodegenerative disease, and also support the communication between brain cells and nerve cells, right? Or they might be essential for a healthy brain, for optimal functioning of the brain. They might support structure. So all of these foods that I include on a regular basis, I read like almost every book that is dedicated to foods, nutrition, and brain function and mental health, written by PhDs and MDs. I never read books, well, almost never just written by celebrities. I always go to scientists who usually team up with some great writer or great communicator to write a book that's also fun to read, right? So I read a lot about brain and nutrition and mental health and gut health and nutrition. And I wanted to give you today all these foods that are amazing for our brain. And I highly recommend you to include them on a regular basis. Most of them are quite delicious, actually. Let's start. What do we start with? With colors. And all this colorful fruit and veggies, and especially things like blueberries and other colorful berries, so like raspberries or blackberries, strawberries. Those are really rich in antioxidants that, again, help to decrease the risk of premature aging, brain aging, and neurodegenerative diseases. And those antioxidants also reduce inflammation. They help your brain to stay healthy and happy. You know, brain is like this power plant in our body. It creates so much electrical activity all over, and it needs a lot of antioxidants to prevent the possible damage that all this electrical activity creates a lot of free radicals. And to prevent the damaging effect of them, we need a lot of antioxidants. So brain is especially sensitive to the amount of oxidants we have in our diets, right? And those antioxidants, studies have found that we need to consume them from fresh foods. Like in a pill, they don't work that well. There is something about, other phytochemicals and them being in a system and consumed in a form of food that makes it much more effective. And so berries are among the top sources of antioxidants. We also have dark chocolate, by the way, and coffee in that category, but specifically berries that are darker and redder in color. So we have blueberries, we have blackberries, we have raspberries, we have strawberries. Those are the top one I recommend, but also things like cranberries, especially wild berries, top, oxidant content. And then we have, speaking about dark chocolate, also super rich in antioxidants. And chocolate, high cacao percentage, specifically 85% and more, is recommended for all the benefits that the brain and your gut can get from chocolate or cacao. So it specifically increases the blood circulation to the brain with delivery of oxygen and all the nutrients. So if you want to improve how your brain works, if you want to improve your memory, the way you learn, if you want to start creating your genius brain, unleashing that genius that is inside our brains, each of us, you want to eat dark chocolate. Like my personal routine is I buy 100% dark chocolate. Here in Mexico, they have a local company that sources beans locally. Cacao beans have been around this region in the times of Maya and Aztecs people or tribes and civilization. It was really developed civilization, right? And they considered cacao bean to be food of the god. Shamans used it to improve their connection to the world of, esoteric, shamans used it to connect to the universe and hear messages louder. But in reality, what it seems to be doing is improve circulation to our brain with oxygen, with all the nutrients, and that helps brain to function better, brain cells to communicate better, and plus really high antioxidant content. Again, it's all the way to the top. I think like cacao products is like fourth or third food riches in antioxidants. So blueberries and berries, they're not as high actually, right? So I think that double effect of blood circulation of certain minerals and nutrients in cacao, and then also a lot of antioxidants, that helps to improve blood circulation, delivery of nutrients, and plus it protects the brain from all the increased activity with a ton of antioxidants. So cacao, colors, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries. Then back to colors, we have vegetables, especially green ones, high in nutrients, high in antioxidants. I always, when I work with my clients, a lot of them really need to work on increasing the green content of their diet. And so here you have, your broccoli, your Brussels sprouts, your spinach, your collard greens, your bok choy, so much of it. Eat some every day. But then also we have herbs that are even higher than vegetables in antioxidants. Herbs are not that high in nutrients, but antioxidant content is off the chart. Also, by the way, there is mint tea. I drink it every day. Mint is super high actually in antioxidants, so mint tea, highly recommended for your brain. And then back to colorful foods, also all kinds of fruit, they are also high antioxidants, or other colors of vegetables like your tomatoes or carrots, high in antioxidants. We have bell peppers, we have purple onions, and all kinds of colorful foods, right? So include a lot of them, but specifically focus on green, focus on herbs, focus on when it comes to fruit, focus on berries, the darker ones, blueberries, blackberries, we have raspberries and strawberries. Yeah, don't forget chocolate, coffee. Regular coffee consumption has been shown to improve the health of our brain, but the dose makes the poison, right? So I recommend to drink it it is recommended not to drink more than 400 milligrams. And to give you an idea, a big Starbucks coffee already overshoots that amount, because their coffee is among the most caffeinated. Usually when you brew it at home, per big cup, it's probably about 100 milligrams, right? And drinking in the first part of the day, 12 hours before your bedtime, it is recommended to not make your sleep worse. That is hugely important for our brain health. Sleep, we're not going to be talking a lot about sleep, but that's why it's important to not drink coffee late. Even if you can fall asleep, caffeine that is consumed close to sleep time going to make your sleep quality worse across the board. It's been measured, guys. There is no question about it. So now, from colors to other foods, we have fatty foods that have structurally important fats. The brain needs them to create the structures that support brain cells, their activity. So we have our omega-3s, we have our omega-6s, both are essential. A lot of people consume enough omega-6s, but not enough omega-3s. And I recommend to mix plant-based omega-3s with marine-based omega-3s. So plant-based, we have flaxseed, we have chia seeds, but I especially love walnuts because they are high in antioxidants, much higher than all the other seeds. And then they have omega-3s and omega-6s in a really great ratio for your brain. So, also seem to be great for satiety, like you're hungry less. So for those reasons, walnuts, I recommend to all of my clients, like eat a big handful of walnuts. And they do report like I'm less hungry and I seem to be doing much better when it comes to mental health, right? So walnuts, high in antioxidants, omega-3s, omega-6s. For omega-3s, there is another important family of omega-3s that come from marine sources. For most people, it's going to mean fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, tuna, not that much. It's not that high in omega-3s. I recommend to focus on things like sardines. You can buy them canned and they're small. They don't accumulate a lot of toxins from oceans, right? Buy them with bones that also contain calcium and other minerals. Also herring, mackerel, super high in omega-3s and vitamin D. That is also important for many people who live in northern countries, or, right now it's winter in Mexico. It feels like, especially where I am, Playa del Carmen near Cancun, it feels like eternal summer, but the rest of the world kind of experiencing winter. So vitamin D in fatty fish is also hugely important. But back to omega-3s, they are super important. DHA, EPA, you can only find them in marine sources. No chia, no flax, no nothing. Fatty fish. But fatty fish is not just oil, so don't go for fish oil unless you really hate fish or you're allergic, obviously. So fatty fish, I eat it almost every single day, seriously. So walnuts for plant-based omega-3s and omega-6s, fatty fish. You can also, of course, supplement with fish oil or algae oil if you are plant-based entirely, although, again, the quality is better from fish. Then for essential fats and brain nutrients, eggs. they are also off the chart with the essential fats for our brain, with choline that is important for attention, for memory, for learning. There are B vitamins, not all of them, but quite a lot of them. We have vitamin A and, vitamin D, a lot of vitamins and nutrients. Eggs are great for our brain, and they have quite a unique nutritional profile. So my practice is usually a couple of eggs every day, every other day. And to give out you my secret, for choline that is found in eggs and liver only in good amounts, if I don't happen to consume eggs on that day, I take supplement for that, right? But that besides the point, eat eggs, they are brainy foods. Then I just mentioned to you chicken livers. I like them more because their profile, nutritionally wise, is more suitable for human biology, more beneficial. That's why I prefer chicken livers, not like beef livers or whale livers, for many different reasons that I'm not going to go into right now. So chicken livers, I recommend eating them at least once a week. I eat about 12 ounces every single week, once a week. Again, no more than that because there are other nutrients like vitamin A that are too high. But yeah, once a week, I consume chicken livers like religion. And if you're not a fan of eating organ meats, I highly recommend you to look into dried organ meats supplements that are on the market, and you just swallow a few pills and it's going to be one of the best supplements in your supplement stack. It's all whole food based, obviously, just powdered organs put into capsules. But I highly recommend you to try chicken livers. When you learn how to cook them, they are delicious, but also nutrition bomb. So chicken livers and other organ meats. Then we have, let's finish with fatty foods. Sunflower seeds are the richest source of vitamin E. That is body's major antioxidant, and it is very important for the brain because, again, all the electrical activity, we need that vitamin E to support that. And plus, sunflower seeds are great sources of other minerals. There are also omega-6s that are also essential fats. So sunflower seeds, I also recommend them to all of my clients. Yogurt. It's the last one on the list, guys, today. Yogurt. Why yogurt? Besides probiotics that are amazing for our gut, yogurt that is made from dairy products, by the way, guys, not almond, not coconut. Dairy yogurt. And also, if you are not doing that well with milk, let's say, or other dairy products, you might be surprised that you're doing much better with yogurt because lactic acid bacteria that is added to make yogurt, it eats the lactose or milk sugar to survive and to thrive. And in turn, they create lactic acid, and basically what it means is a lot of people have problems with lactose, so in yogurt there is much less of it, plus that like bacteria, it predigests a lot of proteins and fats, making all of them a much friendlier for our gut. I personally cannot stand milk, like it makes my skin, something gonna pop up on my skin. I might feel gassy and bloated. But when it comes to yogurt, I can eat a ton of it and experience no problem. But obviously, if you are lactose intolerant and might have other milk allergies, it's not for you. So you gotta eat either canned seafood like canned sardines for your calcium and other minerals, or you gotta supplement with calcium, right? A lot of plant-based yogurts are also going to be fortified with calcium too, so check that out. Your almond or coconut yogurt might have calcium that was added to that. But back to yogurt, why it's so amazing besides all the gut health benefits. Calcium is also needed that is in dairy yogurt to create digestive enzymes to get all the nutrients from our fats and proteins specifically. And those nutrients are important for the brain, obviously. And also calcium is an important, very, very important electrolyte, guys. We need calcium every time neurons need to communicate between each other. Like when they want to say something, so we do something, like we want to contract muscle, calcium needed for neurons to communicate and for actual action of contracting that muscle. We need calcium to contract, to release. Calcium is very important for muscle function and neurofunction. And I personally notice when I eat a lot of yogurt, my brain is like on fire. And if I combine it with fatty fish and eggs, it's like I'm a genius. I'm gonna be dreaming wild dreams with a lot of insights. I'm gonna be super creative, and it's just gonna be like. So calcium is amazing for your brain. And when I need to give, when I'm about, on a specific day, I'm about to give a public talk, that's what I'm gonna eat: fatty fish, chocolate, eggs, and a lot of yogurt. And that again makes my brain, it's like my super fuel for the brain. So yogurt, it is important. I found this Activia without sugar, all natural, just milk, and it also without lactose actually. So milk that is without lactose and bacteria, and those are two ingredients in that yogurt, and it's so delicious. Like I can eat a bucket, and sometimes I do eat a whole kilo of yogurt, especially before my public speaking. And yeah, so super fuel for your brain. Also, as an athlete, very important for you. And it's important for digestive enzymes to digest fats and protein. That is obviously also important for the brain because the brain needs the nutrients to function. To sum it up, our brainy foods, colors, we focus on berries, especially dark and red. We focus on greens, on herbs. We focus on a lot of other colorful vegetables and fruit. We have chocolate and coffee, but specific kind of chocolate and cacao, right? For chocolate is 85% plus, not some 40%, whatever. So chocolate and coffee, and just, manage your consumption. We have walnuts, we have sunflower seeds, that I highly recommend for the brain. Other fatty foods, we have fatty fish, important for structural fats. We have eggs and chicken livers for a lot of other brain nutrients. And we have yogurt. In my routine, guys, I drink my peppermint tea, for the antioxidants, but also because it's great for digestion. I eat a lot of green color every single day: spinach, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, as much as possible. I also add a lot of herbs. My favorites are cilantro and parsley. What I do is I get my fresh herbs, and at the end, like couple of minutes before the end of cooking, I add them so they become softer and easier to digest. And then I add my food, a great punch of flavor, by the way, guys. Berries, eat them every day. I eat ton of colorful fruit and vegetables, red onions and tomatoes, like a lot of color. Probably like a couple of pounds of colorful foods every day. Fatty fish, if not every day, then almost every day. A couple of eggs, again, if not every day, then almost every day. Chicken livers once a week, a lot of it, like 400 grams. Yogurt every day, half a liter. A handful of walnuts every day. An ounce or 30 grams of 100% dark chocolate plus cacao in my yogurt every day. Sunflower seeds, a handful every day. So as you can see, I practice what I preach because I researched it and it works for everyone across the board. Human biology scales, guys. All these nutrients, all these foods with these nutrients, they're gonna work for you unless you have allergies or sensitivities. Then you'll need to look into other foods. But other than that, the nutrients in these foods, they are important to you, just like they are important to you and to me and my brain. So eat a lot of them. If you have any questions about these foods, please use the form in the show notes and send me your question, and I'm gonna address it, or find me on any social media or via email, angela@createyourself.today. So put these foods on your grocery shopping list, this weekend or any other day of the week that you go grocery shopping. Put them into daily practice and see how all of a sudden your brain gonna become a little bit or a lot more genius. Thank you for tuning in, guys, for this last episode of the week. Next week is gonna be all about brain states, how to turn anxiety into confidence, how to get into flow, into zone, how to improve your memory, how to, well, a lot of states, positive states that you want to experience in your life, positive states of your brain, and how you can improve them with food and some habit protocol, some behavior protocol. So that's coming next week. So stay tuned. Have an awesome weekend. Share this episode with one another person to learn together and practice together, because together everything is better. And till next time, as usual, eat better daily and eat more brainy foods.